Hey everyone, Peter Miller here, one of the developers at Animated Codes Made Easy. And what I got for you here today is a demonstration of our interactive animation engine. So you can take those kind of static, boring looking QR codes and make them one of the more interesting and beautiful aspects of your promotional campaign. All right, so let's give it a go. Pull up a browser and we're going to go to api.acme.codes. And here's our top level domain. For the API, acme.codes obviously has much more information on our company. On the three links here to the left, the place paying subscribers go to is the animation engine here. So we'll click on that and log in. All right, and we're in. Not much to see at first, and there is quite a bit of information here, but I'll walk you through it. At the very top here, we just have confirmation of who we're logged in as, what our unlock permissions are, and this dictates how, if you will, usable the QR code is. We get much more information about that in our documentation. Also, there's an API key here for developers. And then there's quite a long list of variables for the user to decide. 99% of the people using our engine only care about the first two. The message that's going to be embedded in the QR code, which here defaults to acme.codes, and which animation they want to choose to have the code animate back and forth between. So we're going to go ahead and just kick off an animation right now with these defaults. I'm going to click on the Create Animation button down here. And as we see down here, we have a progress bar in a nice bright green. Right now, you can see on the right-hand side, it tells more details about what stage the creation is in. So right now, we're rendering frames. We also have information about how the API replied and what the order number currently is. And it is now currently working on ripping the frame to MP4. This should only take just a few moments. We're at relatively low resolution here for this first just demonstration animation. All right. And that's how much time it takes to make a 500 by 500 custom animated QR code. Each of those tiles is animated to the particular QR code that you have entered. So let's go back up here and talk more about these message options here. On the left, there's quite a few of them here. And the reason that these lower ones are grayed out is just to help indicate most people don't care about them, although there's quite a bit of power down here in terms of what you can and cannot create or choose to create through our API. Talking about these most important ones up on the top, again, the message, of course, which animation, X and Y resolutions, length. Some people want to extend the animation or shorten it based on their needs, each of the custom animations, so you can dictate how long each animation is. And some of the animations, or most of the animations actually, have sub-block timing. And so portions of the animations can be extended. If the client likes a particular part of one of our animations and wants to double the time for it, they can do so with the blocks argument. And then, of course, frames per second, FPS. A lot of customers wish to customize what their frame rates are. And quite a few other variables, of course, but again, most people don't care about those. Even the ones down here, you'll notice they're all hyperlinks. So if we forget what does blocks mean again, we can go ahead and click on that and we're taken to the API documentation, which is quite extensive and available at readthedocs.io. So let's make a custom code this time. Let's go ahead and pretend we're Google and we want to go to, instead of acme.codes, we want to go to www.google.com. And we'll stick with the exchange animation, we'll go ahead and kick that off and click on Create Animation. So our animation will be created. And this QR code now goes to google.com. But we're not done yet. Most users want to do something a little more customized than that. So let's go ahead and choose a file to animate back and forth to. And we'll take this Google logo since we're pretending to be Google, and we'll upload the image. And while that's getting re-rendered, I'll talk a little bit about what this field is here, the explicit URL. So basically, when calling the API, this is the actual computer-to-computer command down here, which is derived by whatever choices the user has made up here. So developers who are interested in learning more about the API can play around with these variables and actually send commands for animations to be created from this field as opposed to the arguments up here. And we should be just about done. There we go. And now we have a custom QR code logo back and forth between Google and a QR code that resolves to Google. You may notice that there's interesting lines here. These are minor artifacts because the source image had some darkened pixels on the edges. This kind of thing happens quite a bit, but our engine allows for the refinement of that until it looks just perfect. And then when you're ready, you can either right mouse click on this image and save the video as, or you can see that MP4 button down here for direct download. Or if you're particular and you really want to control the distribution of the animation, you can download on PNG frames and receive a zip file of each of the raw rendered individual animation frames. And those are the fundamentals of many animations to choose from. And the animation libraries are always growing. So we invite you to give it a try sometime or ask us for a demo run. Thanks very much.